It's Rome and welcome to another amazing episode of Homefront. And we promise you that this season is going to be different from last. Last season was a bit more informative. This season is still going to be informative, but we're going to dive deeper into the conversations. And I am joined with two very intelligent young ladies. To my left, I have Charlotte Gregorio, who's 12 years old. And to my right, I have Rain Bowman, who is 15 years old. So welcome, girls. We'll have to call you ladies. Welcome, ladies. And on Homefront, as we said, we're going to have some discussions, right? And I want to start off because I knew that of all the groups in this pandemic that I would have been very curious to talk to would have been your group, because you all are those who are in the school system. So with Charlotte, with you would have been, you just started secondary school in September. Yeah. So that meant your entire standard 5, as we would say here, was virtually?
Yes.
How was that?
It was very sad, to know that your last memories in primary school would be spent online through a computer screen. So I really wished I could have made those memories with my friends and, have those to tell in the future. But unfortunately, because of the situation, I could not. So it was very sad.
So you found, was it more difficult to do the online schooling for SCA versus, because I know for in standard 4, you may have done it face-to-face, so standard 5 would have been different. So how was that change from, even if it was standard 3, how was that change from face-to-face learning versus the online school to prepare for SCA?
Well, transitioning from standard 4 to standard 5, we were already ending standard 4 online, so it was not a great transition, but of course the work was increased, everything got harder, everything got bigger, so we really had to maintain it, and I really had to adapt a lot because all the work, and it's not only regular work, it's like the work is getting increased and it's online, so it's like double stress. So it was really hard.
It was tough?
Yeah, it was hard.
Rain, and for you would have joined secondary school this term as well. No, well, you didn't join, you're in secondary school, but you joined secondary school term in terms of face-to-face.
Right.
So how was that difference between the online schooling for so long and then now you're back to face-to-face?
It was really just a breath of fresh air for me, because to go from being in a school environment where you're always focused and it's regimented and you're surrounded by your teachers and your peers, to then have to stop what you're doing and combine both your home environment where you're always relaxed and your school environment. For me, it was a bit, it was a new change for me, so I really had to adapt to that. So going back out to school, it really just helped me with my comprehension of all my schoolwork, and there were a lot of things I didn't understand online because I just found it was so complex, and with the lack of interaction, it wasn't helping. But I was so grateful to be able to go back to school.
Because then I'm wondering too, with you already the virtual school, so you're saying that so many things complex and being home is a bit different from being in school. So let's say you have a question and you're not understanding. Is it easier for you to ask a question while you're in person and you have your miss or your sir there, the teacher there, versus you're online? How do you ask questions if you don't understand in a virtual world?
Well, I think a big part of the questions and actually understanding what is going on is the interaction, as I said, because I was in school last week and my teacher watched me. She's like, "Rain, your face, you don't look like you understand what's going on. Do you really understand?" I was like, yes, miss, I understand." And she said, you don't look too sure. Let's do another question. So I think sometimes us as students, we don't want to speak out and say, "Miss, we don't understand," but being there and just being surrounded by everyone and our teachers being able to assess our facial expressions and our body language, it was really vital to actually understanding schoolwork on the whole a lot better.
How was it being back in school, seeing your friends after so long?
Hello, Dr. Janine St. Bernard here, County Medical Officer of Health for County Caroni. Anyone who can take the COVID-19 vaccine should take the vaccine. Now let me be clear, the vaccine is not a cure, but it definitely protects you, like a seatbelt, which protects you from getting seriously hurt even if you are in an accident. That's what the COVID-19 vaccine does. It reduces your chance of getting the virus and spreading it. Also, even if you do get the virus, then the vaccine significantly reduces your chance of getting very sick and dying. It's that simple. So don't delay. Get vaccinated today.
How was it being back in school, seeing your friends after so long?
Well, I think, especially after 18 months, at this age, we're going through such an important transitional period in our lives as young ladies. So there were like a bit of personality clashes, because of course after 18 months you would change, and being by yourself, you're not always surrounded by everyone from school. So if we didn't become more independent, we grew, we probably learned different skills, or we no longer, I guess some of us didn't want to follow what our peers were doing anymore. So it was a little bit, I wouldn't say negative, but it was like a little wake-up call almost,
All right. And talking about friends, Charlotte, you would have been spending your first couple months so far in a brand new school. Did you even get to see the school physically?
Well, recently we had a school drive-through and we got to meet our house leaders and our school teachers, which was very surprising because it was like a whole new realm, a whole new world. It was secondary school. So it was like really refreshing to see all these new faces, all these new people, all these new teachers, and form new friendships, form new relationships, and it was amazing.
So in terms of forming a friendship, let's say, all right, you're in Form 1, you're in a brand new school, you probably don't know anybody in the class. You may have one or two of your friends who would have been from primary school who come across in secondary school, but you're in a brand new school. So how are you going to make friends? How did you have you made friends? How does that process work online?
Well, right now, all I know is my friends via social media websites. So I only know them whether it's not Facebook, WhatsApp. Sometimes we talk on Zoom chats, but I only really know them for their online profile. So I don't know the real them. So I'm really anxious to go to school and make all these new friendships and see them have a physical friendship, know the person physically and not by their online profile.
So I'm trying to understand the process. So you see the person online, you watch their profile, you see their pictures, and do you all talk and interact? Like, I don't know, because remember you don't know these people yet. So how does it work?
Well, many people in my class are very friendly. So, we use all of our struggles with the pandemic to relate to each other. So she might be having this problem, I'll be having the same problem, and we use those problems to relate and connect. So I think that using the pandemic as a talking point is a really good
But
decision.
so how does the Zoom class operate? Does everyone have to put on their cameras while class is going on? Well, I know the teacher would have her camera on or his camera on, but the students, you all have your cameras on?
No, we don't have our cameras on, so it's kind of hard to recognize faces and stuff because you barely see the person.
Right.
So, but the few times that we do see each other, we try to connect, get accustomed to the faces, recognize the faces. So, if I see you anymore, that's my friend from school.
Right.
So, yeah.
So how Miss also will know if you don't have on your camera on if you're sleeping and you just put on?
Well, that's the part of online school that's really tricky because teachers have to have a certain trust in their students to, stay online, stay on the camera, stay on the Zoom, and they have to have a certain sense of responsibility upon themselves to, stay in class, learn your work, so if you have any problems, you can later contact the teacher.
All right, so Rain, you would have gotten a period of online school as well. So for you, what was the best thing about online school?
For me, I really just enjoy the convenience of online school, being able to wake up, an hour before school because you don't have to drive to wherever I have to go to get to school, So I just get that extra time to sleep.
So you have a routine, so if you had online school, you would have to get up and do certain things before you log into school?
Drive to school, get there before assembly or whatever. But just because we have online school and we're at home, you just get up, eat breakfast, and go to class.
And go to class one time. You don't have to worry about what you have to wear, if your school uniform iron and all of that. If you had a packed lunch and all of that. So that was the best thing for you. For you, Charlotte, what was the best thing for online school for you?
The same thing as in freedom. You have a lot more freedom and it's less strict than in-person school. So same thing, waking up an hour before school, maybe 30 minutes before school starts.
And then you get to go
one
time.
And
what's the worst thing for you in terms of online school?
The worst thing for me with online school, it's very sedentary. So you're always sitting, your eyes always focus on the camera. It's way too much sitting, and with the times and the hours of classes, it doesn't give you much time to, go outside and play, go outside and run, because right after class, you're in your head, in your books with homework. So it's always just like sitting, your back positions. It pains a lot, honestly, for me, especially with my essay journey, having to do all those tests and exams. My back really started to hurt. And even in the essay examination, my back was hurting because it was just too much on my back after all those 18 months, and it was straining so bad. And also the eyes, your eyes are drooping. It's really hard to focus and concentrate.
And in terms of online school itself, right? Do you think that you would prefer a mix of online and face-to-face, or you prefer to go straight to face-to-face, or you prefer fully online?
I would like a mix because I feel like online also gives you a sense of comfort because it gives you less exposure to the COVID. So I think staying at home would be also good, so you can do a little rotation. But I also think that the in-school experience is very important because it helps you make relationships, friendships. As Rain said, it helps you get better understanding because some things you do at home, you don't even understand one thing a teacher's saying online. and then you go in school and it's like, oh, okay, this is everything. So I think it's very important to mix both of them.
Well, you mentioned COVID, so we're going to jump into a controversial topic in terms of COVID-19. We know the pandemic is hitting us since last year, March, that we've been going through all of this. And a lot of vaccination talk has been in the air. A lot of people have gotten vaccinated. Are both of you all vaccinated?
Yes.
So you're both vaccinated. But I know that a lot of young people aren't. So, Rain, why do you think that a lot of people your age or your generation aren't vaccinated?
You know, honestly, I think it just has to do with the intervention of parents, because I personally know a lot of people my age who do want to get vaccinated and, want to take this step forward, but their parents have opposing views. So, they're not able to actually go and get vaccinated because they don't have the parental consent.
Right. And in your case, with your friends, what have you been hearing on the ground in terms of why some of them aren't vaccinated?
I think the reason a lot of children my age aren't vaccinated is because I think social media is driving a kind of different narrative of the vaccine, and those anti-vaxxers are promoting a different image of it. So it's making people who possibly were thinking of getting it totally turned off, and they have no interest in it anymore.
And what were your experiences when you all got the vaccine? How you felt, Rain?
I was really happy about it. When I first heard that, I could take the vaccine, I was all for it. I was like, yes, definitely, I want to go and get vaccinated. Because I feel like this is a stepping stone for us to return to normal life and the way it was before.
All right. So with that, mindfulness moment is up next. We want you all to breathe in the positivity, breathe out the negativity as we take a moment to relax.
Hello and welcome to another Mindful Moment. We're continuing to explore the power of using our breath. So using our breathing to help calm our nervous system down can be really powerful, especially when we need to focus, perhaps when we have to pay attention to a test that's about to come up, or we're feeling anxious or nervous. The way that we breathe can send a really powerful signal to our nervous systems to tell us that we're not in danger and to help us access our learning and our memories. So one of my favorite breathing techniques is called the hot chocolate breath. So I've got a mug here to demonstrate, and I'd like you to imagine my mug is filled with hot Milo or hot tea or hot chocolate, whatever your favorite drink is. Okay? So we're just going to pretend that we've got this cup in front of us. Just feel that warmth in your hands. And I'd like us to pretend that you're going to breathe in. You're breathing in all the smells of the hot chocolate, all those lovely aromas. Good job. And as you breathe out, you're going to breathe to cool it down. Nice and slow. And another big breath in, just breathing that in, all those delicious smells. Good. And breathe out to cool it down. Good job. And one last time, big breath in. And a cooling breath out. Excellent. So we can use our hot chocolate breath whenever we need to calm down and focus in the moment. Remember your breathing and remember to be here now.
It's Rome, and we are here. We're chilling with the boys. We're liming with the kids. We're doing this all for the PED CARES Foundation. So we need you at home watching us to go donate. Head over to the pedcares.org and send that donation, whether it's via credit card, direct transfer, because we want to make sure that the kids of our pediatric emergency department get the best possible care that they can get, because we need to take care of the next generation. The future lies with the kids. You all ready? On three, we go and say yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yay! The PED CARES Foundation. All right, and we are back from our mindfulness moment. And during that moment, in relaxing, I had to remind myself that in this episode, we are actually speaking to two young ladies who are in secondary school. I forgot that the kind of conversations that these girls are having with me. I swear it's two big women I'm talking to, you know. Charlotte is only 12 and Rain is only 15 years old. And they are carrying on intellectual discussions right here on Homefront. So with that, Rain, I know that I asked Charlotte what was the worst thing about online school, and she said she was having back issues and the screen time. For you, what was the worst thing about online school?
Honestly, for me, it was just, again, the combination, having to mix my home environment with my school environment. I just felt like there were some points in time where I really just could not focus on what I was doing, and it was just really affecting my academic life. Like, because I would be in the middle of a class and I'd be, oh, I'm hungry. And so I put on my headphones and go downstairs. And I'm completely ignoring the teacher, but I'm there like getting something to drink. So it's just like, because I'm home and I'm in the comfort of my home where I'm usually accustomed to relaxing and being myself and just, you know, carrying on my home life, to have to do school in that space at the same time was a bit conflicting for me, you know?
Because I was thinking about that in terms of distractions, because you're at home. You're on the computer, but you could miss talking, but you could go on another website, you could be playing a game, you could be watching TV, you could go in the kitchen and, as you said, get a snack, you could be getting something to drink. There are so many other, you could be playing with the dog, you have a brother or a sister running around, and that's why I want to ask you guys, if you think with the online school, it was more difficult, and I would say with Charlotte as well on this one, was it for you more difficult to focus, or you found it was easier to focus? Because I know that some people have different opinions.
I found it was more difficult to focus because, you know, the home environment is such a relaxed place, it's such a comforting place, so you wouldn't expect to mix work and school and home in the same place. So it was quite a big change, a big adjustment I had to make because, you know, as Rain said, you go downstairs, hey, I'm feeling hungry. Oh my God, my siblings are running in the background and making noise. So it's like a huge adjustment because in school you're so focused, you're on your desk, you have all your work in front of you, no play, all strictness, and at home it's a different world.
And as you mentioned, play, Charlotte. How do you all mix? All right, you're in virtual school now. How you all are going to mix the extracurricular activities? Because I know when I was in secondary school, we would have PE class, we would go out and play cricket or football, or the girls would go out and play badminton or various different sports, and ballet, dancing, music. So now, does the virtual world cater for those things for you guys?
Before the pandemic, I was in many sports. I was in swimming, I was in tap dancing, I was in ballet. Now I do none of those things.
That's what I'm thinking. So you miss it at all?
A lot. I really want to go back to swimming. I'm so eager to get back in the pool, see all my friends from swimming, but it's so hard because they can't have anything and they can't control what's going on. So it's a really difficult change.
And that's definitely something that I was thinking about, because when I went to school, I knew that a lot of people would focus on academics, but a lot of the time people miss that you're developing a child to become an adult, to put them out there into the real world where it's not only about academics. You gotta have socialization skills. You gotta be able to do something else other than just beat book, as we would say in Trinidad and Tobago. You had to be, as you said, you love to dance, you're doing swimming. What extracurricular activities you were doing?
So before COVID, I was in swimming, just like Charlotte, dance as well. We go to the same dancing school, actually. I was doing piano lessons and sailing lessons. With COVID, I actually had to stop 2 of those because they're close contact sports. So, you know, you're in the pool, you're in the pool with other people. When you're sailing, you're in a boat with other people as well. So that had to come to an end because obviously with the pandemic, you couldn't be in such close proximity with other people. But with dance and piano lessons, I actually, was able to do those via Zoom.
Virtually?
Yeah,
Okay.
thankfully. So I still got the little mix of the academics and the extracurricular, to just balance everything out.
Okay, so at least you're getting a bit of mixture. Again, we holding straight. But I know that a lot, the Ministry of Health is pushing so that all the children can get vaccinated, so they can get back to school face to face. And in terms of getting to do extracurricular activities or contact sports, they are kind of encouraging everyone to get vaccinated so that they can do that. And I know that you all mentioned that some of the children were influenced either by their parents. Well, they can't, because of their parental consent. And then you mentioned in terms of social media influence. Were there any other pointers that you all saw in terms of the children in your age groups that they would have brought up in terms of why they weren't vaccinated? Did they have any opinions on their own, or was it just parental influence that they had?
Well, for me, a factor that I actually noticed quite frequently was peer pressure. So aside from the parental consent, I think that a lot of young people my age, we're always often very influenced by our peers and our friends and their opinions. So I've noticed that if someone has a friend who they're anti-vax and they don't want to get vaccinated because of whatever reasons they may have, because that is your friend and you want to have the same opinion as your friend, or you want your friend to like you and you want to feel validated by your friend, people are often, I don't want to get vaccinated either, right? Because they want to side with their friend, obviously. But I think that definitely peer pressure has contributed to some of the views on getting vaccinated.
Okay. So Charlotte, with what is Rain saying in terms of the peer pressure, you think that would be applicable in your age group? Let's say the cool person in your class is an anti-vaxxer. You think that cool person could persuade, or the flip side, the cool person into being vaccinated? You think that coolness factor can help to persuade others in terms of their opinion?
Well, I think in my age group, everyone is really trying to fit in, fit with their group, fit with their people, and I think that they would really do a lot to fit in. So whatever the leader or the top person says, I think they would follow, or the leader of their peers, would whatever they say, they would follow. So I think that possibly if the leader of the group says something or makes a decision or has an opinion, I think they would surely follow it. But if they have a negative opinion, they will also follow that. So I think just like the older classes in secondary school, it also happens with the younger classes, and everyone is just, in secondary school, everyone's trying to find their people. So I think it
can?
It
All
can.
right, so you all going to send me a list of all the names of the cool people in school, and I'm going to bring them on the show and talk to them. So guys, this has been another great episode. Thank you all very much, ladies, for joining us today on Homefront. You all had fun?
Yes.
All right, good. No more nerves?
No one is.
All right, good. We relax. It was the mindfulness moment that did that first. We want to remind you to keep on donating to the PED CARES Foundation at pedcares.org. Guys, it has been great. My name is Rome. Thank you very much for another episode of Homefront.